There's a river. Thank you all. Please remain standing for our chalice lighting.
Good morning. I'm Carrie Lifshitz. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm your worship associate today. Join me as we recite our covenant and Sandy Weir lights our chalice. If you're watching remotely and have a chalice with you, please light it with us. Love, is the doctrine of this congregation.
The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to share our strength and fellowship, thus do we covenant.
Excellent. While you are still standing, please wave to our folks on Zoom, and also turn around and smile at your neighbors and welcome them with your friendly faces. You may be seated. Thank you.
I have a few announcements. Last Sunday, with the help of some gracious, fun-loving members and friends, we got to start making 100 holiday cards for immigrants in detention. We need many more to reach our goal. So bring your doodling skills, however primitive, so we can do our part in bringing a bit of love to these people in need. Join our civic engagement team in the sanctuary after service today to crank out the rest of them. In 2 weeks, on December 7th, we will be recognizing new members of our congregation. If you have been considering formally becoming a member and committing to the values of UUCP, please see the announcement in Compass and the website, or speak to Gary Izell, who's right here, from our membership team. He'll be happy to answer any questions. And lastly, we had a celebration of life for Tish Gaunt this past Friday, and these flowers up front here are from that service. And so we just want to bring a little bit of that love from that celebration of life into our service this Sunday as well too. So that we all know that everything's coming together, and Tish is with us at this service as well too. And now let's draw deeper into the present moment, into our worship. Our opening words are from Out of the Flames by Sarah Eileen Lawal. Out of the flames of fear, we rise with courage of our deepest convictions to stand for justice, inclusion, and peace. Out of the flames of scrutiny, we rise to proclaim our faith with hope to heal a fractured and hurting world. Out of the flames of doubt, we rise to embrace the mystery, wonder, and awe of all there is and all there is yet to be. Out of the flames of hate, we rise with the force of love, love that celebrates our shared humanity. Out of the flames, we rise. I now invite anyone who would like to come forward for Together time.
is so nice to see all of you. Okay, so I have, oh wow, thank you. Thank you for fixing that. So I have a story today for all of you, and it's about an artist. And this artist happens to make clay figures. Has anybody here worked with clay before? You guys ever molded clay? Anything? You? Okay. So, once upon a time, there was an artist who liked to work with clay. The artist shaped clay into different bodies. They were tall, they were short, they were slender, they were round, some were bumpy, some were smooth, some were light, some were dark. Bodies that move fast, some that needed help to move at all, but no two of his bodies were the same. When the artist looked at all the clay figures, they smiled and said, "Each of you is beautiful. Each of you is holy." At first, the clay figures were proud. They looked at each other with wonder. But over time, they started listening to the voices that drifted in from the world outside. Some of those voices said, "Only smooth, shiny bodies are beautiful." Other voices said, "Strong bodies are better than weak ones." Still others said, "Some kinds of love are good, but other kinds aren't." So the clay figures started to believe these voices. They began to whisper among themselves, "Am I too short? Am I too round? Am I too light? Maybe I don't belong." So the artist sat among them and spoke softly. The world sometimes forgets that the truth, and it starts to tell stories that lift some bodies up and pushes others down. It forgets that every body, every skin tone, every shape, every way of moving and loving is holy. Your bodies let you laugh. Your bodies let you dance. Your bodies let you connect. Everybody can give and receive care, joy, and connections. And that's what makes you sacred. Slowly, the clay figures lifted their heads. They looked at one another again. They really looked this time and began to see beauty everywhere. One figure with a big crack down the side whispered, "Even me?" The artist smiled. "Especially you," they said. "Your cracks let the sun shine through." So in our Unitarian Universalist faith, we believe that every body, every kind of body, is holy and sacred. Our world doesn't always treat people that way. Have you guys ever noticed that? Yeah, sometimes our world doesn't actually treat everybody the same way, depending on how they look. Sometimes it tells us that some bodies are too much and others are not enough. But the deeper truth is that all of us in our different bodies and our different ways of loving and being are part of the beauty of creation. Everybody is holy, every body belongs. And thank you all so much for joining me up here. You can return to your seats.
Each week, we split our offering between this congregation and an organization that shares our values. For November, our Share the Plate partner is the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, or UUSC. UUSC advances human rights and social justice around the world, partnering with those who confront unjust power structures and mobilizing to challenge oppressive policies. Their work is grounded in the belief that all people have inherent power and dignity. For all that you give, we are so grateful. Ushers, thank you for your willing hands in helping us pass the plate.
That was amazing, thank you. We recognize that all our lives are interconnected. Part of our journey as a community is sharing our significant milestones, joys, and sorrows. If you're on Zoom, you can put a note in the chat. If you're in person and want us to read your joy or sorrow next week, fill out a card before service at the table in the back of the sanctuary. I'd like to invite Rev Christine up to share.
Is Zoom up? Hi, everyone. I am Reverend Christine Dance. I am the minister of this congregation. I use she and her pronouns, and I get to just enjoy service like you all with my family. So I am looking to see if there's anyone from Zoom that has anything, but I do have a joy and sorrow. I've got an update of a major event in the life of one of our members, Nigel Perez, and the Perez Resendez family. So before I start, I want to tell you that Nigel is home and doing remarkably well and is actually here today. But about 4 weeks ago, Nigel was the victim of a gunshot wound to his head. He had surgery, a stay in the ICU, in the pediatric unit of the hospital, and neurological rehab. He is continuing with outpatient rehab as he heals, and I have been in frequent contact and visiting with him and the family through this. Nigel and Mama Lynn and Tia Barb are all here today. I'm asking that you don't all go up to Nigel at once and try to talk to him. He's still got a lot of light sensitivity and just kind of spatial overwhelm that's happening. But I think we could all give Nigel a big heart and a big love and say how much we love you, how glad we are that you are here with us, and how much we care about you. There is an active meal train going on right now for the family if you want to help them out. Thank you for holding them in your heart. And I do see online from Peyton, joy from everyone's favorite young adult visiting from the Pacific Northwest. I'm back for a few days, and I'm glad to be back home for a bit before I return for finals and my choir concert. I've been very homesick this last week, and it is good to be here again. We're always glad to see you, Peyton. And back to you all.
I invite you to a time of meditation and prayer. Take a moment to settle your body, take a few breaths, and be here in this present. This is We Answer the Call of Love by Julia Colbert-Hemeyer. In the face of hate, we answer the call of love. In the face of exclusion, we answer the call of inclusion. In the face of homophobia, we answer the call of LGBTQ rights. In the face of racism, we answer the call of justice for all races. In the face of xenophobia, we answer the call of pluralism. In the face of misogyny, we answer the call of women's rights. In the face of demagoguery, we answer the call of reason. In the face of religious intolerance, we answer the call of diversity. In the face of narrow nationalism, we answer the call of global community. In the face of bigotry, we answer the call of open-mindedness. In the face of despair, we answer the call of hope. As Unitarian Universalists, we answer the call of love, now more than ever. Amen, and blessed be.
I've got that old-fashioned love in my heart, and there it will always remain. I look back and I find we're getting closer all the time. Through the years, joy and tears, just the same. I've got that old-fashioned faith in my heart, and no one can tear it apart. There are changes in the scene, but there'll be no change in me, 'cause I got that old-fashioned love in my heart. That old-fashioned faith in my heart, and no one can tear it apart. Well, there are changes in the sea, but there'll be no change in me. I got that old-fashioned love in my heart.
Whew, thank you. Thank you so much. Oops, that's not working anymore. When I first heard Isaac describe this sermon about how some bodies are over-sexualized and some bodies are under-sexualized, I'll admit I felt nervous. Not because I disagree, but because I realized how much I hadn't thought about it. As a cisgender, white, able-bodied woman, I've spent most of my life moving through a world that quietly tells me my body is the default. I don't have to think much about whether people see my body as desirable, or as human, or as worthy of love. The world is built to reflect me back to myself. Maybe not perfectly, but comfortably. Now, don't get me wrong. I have thought about me personally being sexualized, and when I did some modeling in Los Angeles in my early 20s, I was shown what that perfect body was. At first, things were great, we had a good time. But then when I was asked to get my 5'9" body down to 115 pounds, I was done. It's not realistic. It's not natural. It's not neutral. And yet what I realized in thinking about this is that the way our culture sees bodies and the way it teaches us to see bodies isn't natural or neutral. It's shaped by power, by racism, by ableism, by fear, and by centuries of stories that tell us who is beautiful, who is allowed to desire, and who is allowed to be desired. And I sat there thinking, of course, that's how white supremacy works. It takes the same sacred truth that every body is holy and sexual and twists it differently depending on whose body it is. This service and series of services have made me, as a white woman, look honestly at how I've been shaped by a culture that ranks bodies. I've challenged myself to listen more deeply, to unlearn the lies about who gets to be seen as whole. And I'm reminded that liberation isn't only about policy or access. It's about reclaiming the truth that every body, every color, every shape, every way of being in this world is holy. And that includes the parts of us that we've been taught to be ashamed of, like our desires, our hungers, or our need for touch or longing for connection. Those too are sacred. So I leave you with this thought. Today I'm both humbled and inspired. Humbled by how much I still don't know, and inspired by how much more love becomes possible when we truly see one another's bodies as beloved.
Thank you, Carrie. So jazz was created in the black communities of New Orleans. It's always faced racist accusations, and one of those is that it's sex music, right? I mean, I could talk about the various aspects of this forever. It's part of the racist lie, which Isaac will be talking about some in his sermon, that black folks are hypersexual and that white folks are pure. That's one of the big lies. There are a lot of them. So the hot beignets here, they play the traditional jazz of the 1920s. And in the 1920s, there was something called the jazz scare. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's a trend of white community leaders around the US spreading fears in print, in speaking, from the pulpit, that young adults in their communities were being corrupted and sexualized by listening to jazz or dancing to jazz, right? And again, I don't have an hour to talk about this, but the biggest contradiction to those racist lies is, I think, the music itself. That jazz has always respected the whole of human experience. It's always had songs aimed at all ages. It's always been on topics from the sacred to the mundane. We're doing songs about love and sex today to tie in with the service, but they cover every possible perspective. Making Whoopee is teasingly making fun of marriage. We did that for the offering. Old-fashioned love is deeply devotional. We did that for the meditation. And now here's a 1920s standard, I guess, about consent, about saying no. It's called I Ain't Gonna Give Nobody None of My Jelly Roll. Let's do it.
wouldn't give nobody none. My jelly roll, wouldn't give you a piece of cake just to save your soul. Daddy told me today, just before he went away, if I be a good boy, bring me a toy. And now my daddy's pride and joy. Ain't no use for you to keep on hanging around. I know you want it, but I ain't gonna turn you down. My jelly roll is sweet, you know it can't be beat. I know you want it, you can't have it, ain't gonna give you none. On hanging around. I know you want it, but I'm gonna turn you down. Jelly roll is sweet, no it can't be beat. Know you want it, you can't have it, ain't gonna give you none.
I know someone with a disability. I love someone with a disability, and I hope you do too. I have family and friends who have disabilities. Some of them have physical disabilities, and some have mental disabilities, and I love them. I've previously shared that I come from a large family. I really would need an Excel spreadsheet to list my cousins for you. And within those extensive branches of family ties, there are people with disabilities. To me, they were just family members, and I embraced having them in my life. Yet, it wasn't until I was older and knew them to be sexual beings that I realized I was experiencing that same nervousness Carrie so aptly described. Not because I disagreed, but because I too realized how much I hadn't thought about it. My unawareness of recognizing their sexual being was shocking. And this lack of awareness didn't just happen overnight. It continues to be a lesson I'm still exploring more of. That's why, for this final installment of our Sex is Holy series, I'm focusing on sex of the oppressed. It's titled oppressed because not only because that phrasing has a religious connotation, but because it covers a wide swath of individuals in our society. People with disabilities, Black, Indigenous, people of color, LGBTQ individuals, women, immigrants, and so many more. While all of those deserve their own sermons, I'll be delving into areas of the undersexualized and the oversexualized today. And one of the best ways to tell you what those terms mean is to define them. First, let's define sexualize. The Cambridge Dictionary offers this definition for sexualize: to see someone or something in sexual terms, or to make someone or something sexually exciting. That's our standard definition of sexualize. When using over-sexualized, it's in the context of a person being sexualized far too much and to the extreme of that definition. When using under-sexualized, it's in the context of a person being reduced, erased, and or completely removed from being sexualized according to that definition. And here's the factual area that needs to be shared and delved into. People with disabilities are under-sexualized in our society. In the journal article, Leaving No One Behind, addressing the sexuality of people with disabilities, the authors state, in the context of global health and societal inclusivity, there exists a silent yet important issue that requires collective attention: the sexuality of individuals living with disabilities. And it also states that approximately 1.3 billion individuals, or 16% of the world's population, experience major disability. While those 1.3 billion people with disabilities can offer a laundry list of the barriers they are facing in our able-bodied and neurotypical society, the one that gets the most silence in mainstream culture is that they are under-sexualized. Or more pointed and direct, they are seen as non-sex. It reminds me of my beloved relatives I grew up with. Nobody ever asked them who they were dating or whether they liked anybody. That guise of desexualizing people with disabilities is alive and well in many familial environments. Thankfully, I began to learn a lot about shifting this view in myself when I befriended sex workers. And they shared that several of their clients were people with disabilities. And recently on NPR's The Moth Radio Hour, I listened to one mom's journey while navigating life experiences for her son with a disability, including his holiday wish of experiencing sex in his early 20s by hosting Christmas in Nevada so they could book him a visit to one of those ranches. It makes sense that when society under-sexualizes a community of people, those individuals will find ways of experiencing sexual encounters. While I was in seminary, I was taking a course exploring how every body is holy and sacred. And one of our lessons was watching the documentary Crip Camp, A Disability Revolution. Crip Camp captures the experience of teenagers with disabilities at summer camp in the early 70s. And it does not shy away from showcasing that sexual exploration at summer camp happens there. At one point in the documentary, they held a camp meeting because a crab outbreak was occurring among the campers. That's absolutely a revolutionary teenage summer camp. And while it's revolutionary to learn and shift my lens around an under-sexualized community, I learned a hard truth about how the civil rights movement of our past forgot to include people with disabilities. how the disabled community had to continue their own fight for equal rights and continue to fight for them in the decades after and still fight for them now. Saying the civil rights movement forgot a substantial oppressed community is disheartening. Though I know other oppressed communities have been showing up when called upon by disability activists, it's the least we can do to correct that wrong. These same oppressed communities also include people and bodies who have been historically over-sexualized in our society. I'm paraphrasing Daniela Medina's article titled, "A Brief History on the Hypersexualization of Black Women," when I share, the fact that Black and brown bodies are substantially more sexualized than their white counterparts is not hidden in Western society. We see it all the time in the media, which often associates white bodies with purity, while Black and brown bodies with a promiscuous nature. It's a long-standing problem stemming from racism that dates back to colonial times. Medina continues, stating that before Europeans began regularly traveling to Africa, the culture began to form an erotic narrative of African people. The dancing, singing, and minimal clothing due to the hot environment of African tribal communities had Europeans concluding that African people had to be sexually lewd. This lewdness was construed as less evolved and was one of the many things used to justify slavery that came for centuries afterward. White enslavers repeatedly took advantage of the women who were Black. Because no laws protected these women from such acts, they just had to endure. These women who were Black were often seen as lewd and depicted as such during this era of our history. For generations to come, the assumption that Black bodies were more sexually vulgar than white bodies found its way into the media, reinforcing this hurtful stereotype. As a result, a disproportionate number of young Black and brown women have been targeted and sexually abused for years. The negative portrayal of women who are Black in society has not been subtle, and it is an issue that continues to exist in many industries that are exposed to young minds. Black and brown bodies continue to be hypersexualized, fetishized, eroticized, and sexually humiliated in a myriad of ways in our society. In modern culture, we witness that when an individual who is white dates a person of color, it is seen as rebellious to their family, and an expectation of this person who is white is not to marry a person of color after this phase passes. Black and brown bodies are expected to be cast aside after all this sexual fixation is explored. We hear it in the language, as so many are double-edged compliments given to people of color. You're attractive for a Black woman or a Black man. You're sexy for a Latino man or Latina woman. And I proudly embrace being a Latino man. And yet, when you hear it in that context, it's not positive. One's racial identity is depicted as a signifier before being recognized as a person first. That identity depiction happens not only with Black and brown bodies, it occurs with the disabled community as well. I recall when I used to describe someone using disabled person as their signifier, not realizing how my language was not recognizing them as a person first. That's why you've heard me saying a person with a disability so much during this sermon. It matters that we recognize the person as a whole being first. Recognizing how we use language matters. In society, we evolve best by learning and understanding new things. One new thing our current media offers is shows such as Love on the Spectrum, which, while facing its own share of criticism for certain portrayals, is absolutely groundbreaking. Groundbreaking because it showcases people on the autism spectrum being their authentic selves while falling in love, having sexual desires, and wanting intimate relationships. A second new thing that the internet and social media have granted is the creation of AMBW dating spaces. AMBW stands for Asian Men and Black Women. According to a 2008 Princeton study, Asian men and Black women are the two groups that are statistically the least desirable dating partners for their white counterparts. 93.4% of women who are white say no to dating men who are Asian. And 90% of men who are white say no to women who are Black. Men who are Asian are seen as too effeminate, and women who are Black are seen as too masculine in this study. Yet social media has allowed AMBW to carve out spaces for rich cultural exchange with one another. And awareness of any potential fetishization occurs in those spaces is problematic. Yet I also find it deeply reassuring to know that there are spaces where Asian and Black features are desired. These two highly marginalized groups crafted spaces where they can be sexual with one another, find love and appreciation in our world. A third new item is this book, which they're going to show on the screen right now for you. And I wanted to share this. It's a book by Judith Human titled Being Human. Judith is one of the individuals featured in the Crip Camp film and has a long history of disability rights activism. In her memoir, she shares her journey and doesn't remain silent about being undersexualized by others during her formative years. Thank you for showing that book. And I can't remain silent about how what we call marriage equality, which I'll reference as queer marriage, left behind the disabled community. Queer marriage did not answer or offer a solution to the injustice a person with a disability faces around marriage. A person receiving disability benefits risks losing their benefits if they marry someone. It's a complicated and convoluted system stemming from the desexualization and the dehumanizing of people with disabilities. And I'm sorry that the queer marriage movement left the disability community behind. Marriage equality is when a person with a disability can get married without risking losing essential life-saving benefits. We can do better for our beloveds, and they deserve better from us. I hope that we've begun to do better by having this Healthy Sex series at our congregation. We've delved and learned in so many areas during this series. The role religion has played so far in one's learning about sex, sandwiching into pluralism of all sex being sacred, discussing how the AIDS crisis impacts generational views around sex and sexual communication, and learning to shift our lens around those in our community who are undersexualized and oversexualized. Beloveds, this has been an impactful series. May it lovingly land on your spirits. I leave you with this ending. I know someone who has been undersexualized. I love someone who has been undersexualized, and I hope you do too. I know someone who has been oversexualized. I love someone who has been oversexualized, and I hope you do too. May we continue to love and witness them more deeply now, more than ever. Amen, and blessed be.
Thank you, Isaac. Amen indeed. We close with I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free by the jazz pianist Billy Taylor with lyrics by Dick Dallas. It's a beautiful tune that was recorded by Nina Simone and sort of became a minor civil rights anthem in the 60s and then found its way into the UU hymnal, and so many of us know it. But again, I'll have the band play an instrumental verse through, and then I'll invite you to stand and join us in singing. 1, 2, 3. Please rise, everyone. Let's get the lyrics up. I wish I knew how. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all these chains. Oh, okay. Hold on. Give us a sec to... Yeah, keep it going. We lost the projector. Hold on, give us a second. We'll get there. Paul, take a solo.
I wish how it feels to be free.
No.
I wish I could break all these chains holding me.
All right, thanks for your patience, everyone. Here's the first verse. Now you know it. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish, oh man, lost it again. All right, you want to face the back because that TV is working? Oh, no, you're messing it up, man. Oh man, we had it before and now we're mirroring something different. Oh, band, hold on, let's cut. Let me communicate for a sec. Y'all are so patient with us. Rob, a minute ago you were displaying the full screen on the confidence monitor, and now we're seeing your OBS with both screens and your controls. Can you go back to giving us full screen? All right. We have hymnals at the door, but we didn't pass them out when we came in because we normally do it this way now. Man, oh man. Well, I suppose. Oh, okay. Thank you, Rob. You did it. We'll do it facing the back screen. Thanks, everyone. 1, 2, 3. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all these chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I could say. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole world to hear. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole world to hear. I wish I could share. I wish I could share all the love in my heart. Remove all the bars that still keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree everyone should be free. Then then you'd see and agree everyone should be free. I wish I could give. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things I can do, though I'm way overdue. I'd be starting anew. I'd be starting anew. Go on. I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea. Then I'd sing 'cause I know how it feels to be free. And then I'd sing 'cause I'd know how it feels to be free. Please be willing to stand in for another moment while we close our service.
After service ends, room activities, including our children's ministries programming, will be listed on the screen, or actually that screen in the back. Please join us for coffee hour with food and refreshments in our community space just across the patio. Isaac, please close our service.
Our closing words are from Emily Richards entitled, "Our Work Has Just Begun." Take a moment to become present. Pause and notice how you are in this space. Our service here this morning is at its end, and our work has just begun. The work of holding one another and this community in love, the work of trusting that we are on the right path, the work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us, the work of engaging in that makes us whole, the work of deeper understanding and commitment, the work of letting go of that which does not serve us, the work of radical inclusion, the work of collective liberation, the work of beloved community, a beloved community of which we are all a part, a place where we are welcomed, respected, valued, cherished, a place where we belong. Go in peace, go in love.